So one thing that virtually all listing agents are guilty of, and this is how you know you've got the wrong listing agent, is giving out your inside information, giving out their sellers inside information. You know, a lot of times the buyer agent will call and they'll ask a bunch of questions to the listing agents like, you know, when does your client want to close? Well, you know, the closing is flexible. Put down what your client needs, and you know, if it's an issue, we'll hash it out. Should always be the answer, right? Because you don't want to, you know, give out the information, oh, my client needs to close by such and such a date, and all of a sudden it becomes a negotiating point for the buyer, right? The other very common question that we get nowadays that almost all buyer agent asks is, you know, what are your clients' expectations on price? Well, you know, that's inside information, right? And I'm always surprised that, you know, how many properties where I've called on and the listing agent, the agent who's representing the seller, without even prompted, says, you know, my client, you know, I know they're asking $1 million, but they'll take 950, or they're asking 950, but their expectation is 1.1 million, right? And all that is inside information. So whenever I take a listing and I represent my seller clients, I take confidentiality and inside information very seriously. And the way I handle the common question of, you know, when a buyer agent says, so what are your clients' price expectations, is always the same. Hey, I appreciate you asking the question. I really do. And I would be more than happy to discuss that with you when you send over your client's offer. That's it, you know, and that ends it right there. They understand that I'm not giving out any of my clients' inside information, and a lot of times it results in an offer getting sent over that we can negotiate, as opposed to, you know, the buyer not sending any offer over at all, or, you know, you compromising your client's negotiating position.